Good morning, Beyond the Gates family. Welcome back to the channel, your #1 destination for everything happening behind the gates of Fairmont Crest. I hope you all had a restful weekend, because let me tell you, if you thought Friday's cliffhanger was intense, you are absolutely not ready for what CBS has cooked up for us this Monday, January 26th. Today, we are breaking down the aftermath of Anita Dupree's terrifying collapse, the absolute mess that is the Dupree sisters' love lives, and the brewing war between Bill Hamilton and his shiny new partner, Tomas Navarro. Plus, I have some serious theories about Naomi's secret that I need to run by you guys because I think this is going to end in disaster. If you're ready to dive into the drama, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the deep dive. 1. The fall of the matriarch Anita's health crisis. Let's start with the headline story, the moment that literally stopped the show on Friday, January 23rd. Anita Dupree, matriarch, the Iron Lady, the woman who holds this family together with sheer will and graces down. Now, for those of you who missed the last few minutes of Friday's episode, let's recap. We saw Anita suddenly collapse. It wasn't a faint, it was a full-on medical emergency. And who was there to witness it? Her husband, Vernon Dupree, and her longtime frenemy, Sharon Winger. The spoilers from Monday, January 26th, confirm that we are jumping right back into that chaos. We aren't doing a time jump. We are right there on the floor with her. Maybe a cardiac event or a stroke brought on by the immense stress she's been under lately. But here is where the character psychology gets interesting. We need to talk about Vernon. Vernon is a strong man, a distinguished man, but let's be real, Anita is his anchor. The spoilers say Vernon is going to be absolutely distraught. We are going to see a side of him we rarely see. Vulnerable, terrified, and desperate. And here is the kicker, guys. The spoilers tease that in his desperation, Vernon is going to reach out to an unlikely source for help. Let's put on our detective hats for a second. Who is this unlikely source? If he calls a regular doctor, that's not a spoiler. That's just procedure. So, it has to be someone with narrative friction. Could he be reaching out to an estranged family member? Or, and hear me out on this, does he reach out to a business rival or someone from the past who has medical connections but comes with strings attached? What if he has to ask a favor of someone who hates the Duprees? This setup screams deal with the devil. Vernon would burn the world down to save Anita, and the writers know that. If he has to compromise his morals or his business to get her the best care, he will do it. And that is going to plant seeds for conflict down the road. Also, we cannot ignore Sharon Winger standing right there. Sharon is complicated. She can be petty, she can be messy, but in a life-or-death situation, how does she react? Does she step up and support Vernon? Or, and this is my cynical side talking, does she see a moment of weakness in the Dupree dynasty that she can exploit later? I want to believe Sharon has a heart, but in Fairmont Crest, kindness usually has a price tag. I'll be watching her facial expressions very closely on Monday. Is she looking at Anita with worrying, or is she looking at Vernon with calculation? 2. Sisterly bonding. And a ticking time bomb. While the matriarch is fighting for her life, or at least her health, the Dupree daughters are dealing with a different kind of heart trouble. Let's head over to another part of the city where Nicole and Donnie are having some sister time. According to the spoilers, Nicole Dupree is ready to spill the tea. She is sharing a steamy milestone with Donnie. And we all know exactly what that means. Nicole is finally going to tell her sister about her night of passion with the handsome Dr. Carlton Fitzgerald. They finally crossed that line on Thursday, and Nicole is clearly glowing. I love this for Nicole. Honestly, she deserves a win. She deserves to feel desired and happy. Seeing the sisters laugh and share fun stories is going to be such a necessary palate cleanser from the heavy drama at the hospital. We need that levity. It reminds us why we love the Dupree familiar bond. But, and it is a massive but, this conversation is a double-edged sword. While Nicole is gushing about her new romance, Donnie Dupree is sitting there holding on to a nuclear secret. Remember, Donnie just shared a scandalous, forbidden kiss with Bill Hamilton. The psychological tension in this scene is going to be off the charts. Imagine you're Donnie. Your sister is telling you about her happy, mostly uncomplicated romantic win. And you're sitting there thinking, I just kissed my dad's friend, business associate, power player Bill. The big question, will Donnie confess? The spoilers ask, will Donnie fill her sister in on her kiss with Bill, My prediction? Absolutely not. Here is why. Donnie is smart, but she is also guided by guilt. She knows that kissing Bill opens a Pandora's box of complications. If she tells Nicole, Nicole will judge her. Nicole will worry. Nicole might tell Vernon. Donnie is going to internalize this, and we are going to see that classic soap opera trope where the character smiles on the outside, but is screaming on the inside. This contrast is brilliant writing. You have one sister entering a honeymoon phase, and the other entering a phase of secrecy and shame. It sets them on divergent paths that are bound to crash into each other eventually. 3. Office Politics Bill Hamilton vs. Tomas Navarro. Speaking of Bill Hamilton, let's pivot to the boardroom, because things are getting spicy at the law firm. We have to talk about the dynamic between Bill and Tomas Navarro. Let's look at the facts. Bill recently promoted Tomas to partner. On paper, that looks like a reward for hard work. But we, the audience, know the truth. This was a hush-money promotion. This was Bill buying Tomas's silence because Tomas saw the kiss between Bill and Donnie. Now, spoilers from Monday reveal that Tomas is going to learn a very hard lesson. You do not bite the hand that feeds you, especially when that hand belongs to Bill Hamilton. The teaser says Bill is going to teach Tomas a lesson and put him in his place. This is fascinating. I suspect Tomas is walking around the office with a little too much swagger. He thinks he has leverage. He thinks, I know your secret, Bill. I'm untouchable. I'm a partner now. Oh, sweet, summer child. Tomas is playing checkers, and Bill is playing for D-chess. Here is my analysis of the situation. Tomas is likely going to overstep his boundaries on Monday. Maybe he makes a demand, maybe he disrespects Bill in front of a client, or maybe he makes a subtle, smug reference to the Donnie situation, and Bill is going to snap. Not with violence, but with raw power. I expect Bill to remind Tomas that a title on a door doesn't mean you run the show. Bill is going to bury Tomas in work, or perhaps embarrass him legally by exposing a mistake Tomas made. Bill needs to assert dominance. He needs to show Tomas that while he did promote him to keep him quiet, he can also destroy his career in a heartbeat if Tomas gets too cocky. This is a dangerous game for Bill, though. If he pushes Tomas too hard, Tomas might just decide that blowing up Bill's life is worth losing the job. Tomas is young and impulsive. Bill is arrogant. This is a powder keg waiting for a match. I'm really looking forward to the dialogue in these scenes. Timon Kyle Durrett Bill is so good at playing that menacing, cool authority figure. And seeing Alex Alegria Tomas try to stand his ground is going to be a great acting showcase. 4. The Burden of Secrets Naomi's isolation. Finally, we have to touch on the most emotional storyline of the week. Naomi Hawthorne. The spoilers reveal that Naomi is continuing to lean heavily on Ashley Morgan. Right now, Ashley is the only person who knows that Naomi tested positive for the BRCA gene. This storyline breaks my heart, guys. The BRCA gene is a heavy, life-altering reality for so many women, and I appreciate the show handling it. But the drama comes from the secrecy. Naomi is keeping this from her husband, Jacob. Why is she doing this? Let's psychoanalyze Naomi for a moment. Naomi is often portrayed as someone who wants to be perfect. She wants the perfect marriage, the perfect image. Admitting to a health vulnerability, especially one that impacts her future as a woman and a mother, might feel like a failure to her flawed logic. She is terrified that this changes how Jacob sees her. She doesn't want to be the sick wife or the patient. She wants to be his equal. But relying on Ashley? That is a fascinating choice. Ashley and Naomi haven't always been besties. This shared secret is forging a bond between them that is deeper than blood right now. Ashley is stepping up, being the rock Naomi needs. However, we have to look at the Jacob angle. Jacob is a good guy. He loves Naomi. But when he finds out that Naomi has been going through this trauma and didn't trust him enough to tell him but told Ashley instead, he's going to be devastated. He will feel betrayed. He will feel like an outsider in his own marriage. The spoilers for the week of January 26th suggest Naomi keeps the secret all week. My verdict: this is a mistake. A massive mistake. Every day she doesn't tell Jacob, the explosion gets bigger. I think Ashley might actually start pressuring Naomi to tell the truth. We might see a scene on Monday where Ashley says, "Naomi, I love you. But I can't be the only one carrying this. You have to tell your husband. If Naomi continues to shut Jacob out, we aren't just looking at a health crisis, we're looking at a marital crisis. And with everything else happening in Fairmont Crest, I don't know if the Hawthorne marriage can survive a breach of trust this magnitude. Conclusion and predictions. So, let's recap the chaos awaiting us on Monday. Anita is down, and Vernon is making risky moves to save her. Nicole is in bliss, while Donnie is drowning in guilt over the Bill kiss. Bill is about to crush Tomas's ego like a bug to protect his secret. Naomi is building a wall of silence between her and Jacob that might be impossible to tear down. I think by Friday of this coming week, someone else is going to find out about the Bill and Donnie kiss. Secrets like that in a soap opera have a shelf life of about a week before they start to leak. Maybe Tomas tells someone. Maybe Nicole overhears something. I don't know, but the tension is too high to sustain. And regarding Anita, I predict she survives, but she won't be fully functional for a while. This is going to leave a power vacuum in the family and the community. Who steps up? Does Nicole take charge? Does Vernon fall apart? The shifting hierarchy is going to be the story of the next month.